Hello everybody and thank you for joining me. This is Sierra from Sierra T Designs, and today I have these fun pink and brown Valentine's Day artist trading cards to share with you guys. So let's jump right in. So I'm going to cut down some Kraft cardstock here. This is the heavy cardstock. The heavyweight cardstock, and I am going to create my bases with this. So for an artist trading card, the only rule to it is that you have to have a 3.5 by 2.5 inch card. That is the only rule that I'm aware of. You can do literally anything else you want. Paper, like collage, you can do art, you can do painting, you can do anything that you like. And I really enjoy making these because I trade them with other artists. And I think that it's a really fun medium to play with because of the size. I think that you can have a lot of fun because they're so small and try out different things and try out different layouts and try out whatever you like because they're so small. And I do also really enjoy making 4 of them at a time as a general rule. This is because I like to use Strathmore's 5x7 sized watercolor cardstock, which you're going to see I'm going to use right here. And because of the 5x7 size, it cuts perfectly into 4 ATCs. So that's usually why I like to do that. Of course, you could make one. I just have a tendency to, if I'm already making something, I might as well make more than one so that I can kind of have fun with it. But I do have the replacement mat right there, and I'm just going to pounce my Strathmore watercolor cardstock into the colors that I've chosen. And I have 2 Distress Ink minis. I have Worn Lipstick and Candied Apple, and then I also have Kitsch Flamingo in the Oxide. Now, you don't end up seeing Kitsch Flamingo as much as I might have liked, but because it's the background and there's a bunch of other stuff going on top of it, it doesn't really take away from the project. I do kind of wish I had added a little more pink, like a bright pink, because Worn Lipstick is a pink. Candied Apple is obviously red, but I think that they ended up mixing together really nicely and creating kind of a cool watercolor effect background. But I do kind of wish that I had maybe grabbed a brighter pink. But it worked out really well in the end. I think that that's quite pretty. So you see that I did dry it so that I could layer on some speckles and spots. I really wanted an abstract-esque background. So I did pounce it into the color once again. And then I am going to add a little bit more Kitsch Flamingo on top just to bring in a little more of that pretty pink color. It does look quite pink here, so I mean, I don't know. It's just not quite pink enough for me. You guys know that I love bright colors, so that's just my preference. Of course, you could have done this in any color palette you want, but because today is Valentine's Day, I did aim for a very Valentine's Day themed project. And then I brought in my Nuvo glitter paste. This is MoonStone. And I also brought in the Tumbling Hearts stencil. And I'm just using my spatula there to spread it across the stencil. I do end up covering some of this up, but in the end, when I hold it up, you can see how pretty this looks. And I just really like how it turned out. And these are very, very sparkly, very shiny, very girly. I don't know. Everything that I love in a craft is pretty much in this project. And I'm just going to kind of spread it across the stencil. And this cardstock is 5x7. So obviously the 6x6 stencil is not going to quite fit. And then I did kind of have it hanging off the other edge so that I wouldn't end up with hearts that were kind of cut off in the stencil. So I'm going to lift it up here and then I'm just going to reposition it further onto the card so that you kind of still get that heart look all the way through. And again, we are going to cover this up. So it doesn't need to be perfect. It's just more texture and like different stuff going on in the background. So you could add texture paste. If you didn't want glitter paste, you could have used crackle paste. Like there are so many things you could do here that would just create neat other styles of texture. This is just because I love glitter. So that's kind of what I was thinking there. And I am going to use my Hero Arts Nested Hearts. I have the 3 almost smallest ones. There's one more that's like way tinier than these ones. I didn't use the tiniest one, but the 3 smallest outside of those. And I'm going to cut them out. I cut them out twice, the 3 hearts, twice out of the heavyweight Kraft cardstock that you see here. Twice out of this Lawn Fawn Pixie Dust glitter cardstock that you see here. And then I decided to bring in a little more pink. So then I also brought in, I believe it's the Jewel Toned Metallic Kraft Stock by Tim Holtz. And I cut out the pink one twice. So like 6 hearts from each color. And I just ran it through my Gemini size. It's a Gemini, and I use Gemini Jr plates. And I also have a magic mat so that I don't have to have too much warping with my plates, and that's kind of just a preference. And I use my mint tape to kind of hold it on, although it's pretty difficult to hold on to glitter cardstock, so I didn't really. And now I have the Deckled edge trimmer here. And you're going to see, I mean, you've seen in the picture that I want there to be a lot of texture in these. But the Deckled edge trimmer did not like the glitter paste. So I do struggle a bit to cut through it. And now that's fair. Glitter paste is very textured. And on some areas it was a bit thicker because I was kind of going, I didn't give it like an even coat, so it is a bit thick. So the trimmer was a little unimpressed with me trying to use it here. So you see here, I'm kind of like struggling a little bit, but in the end, I think it turned out really cool. And I love that it's kind of uneven. I actually really like that look for what I was creating here. So I think it turned out really neat. And this cardstock is very heavyweight. This is like 120 pound, watercolor cardstock, so it is a very heavyweight cardstock, so that also kind of and then all that texture, like it just, the Deckled edge trimmer struggled a little bit, but I still got there, so I'm happy with it. So now I'm going to create some kind of more distressed look to this pink cardstock. This is kind of twofold. I wanted there to be a distressed look to this cardstock because I think that it suits this kind of artist trading card really well, but also because I wanted you to be able to see more of the brown cardstock coming through. So there you can see on the side there that I have cut all of my little hearts, and I am using my reverse tweezers just to help me get the right curve that I want to these like ripped pieces. And it's just a preference. And here I just brought in my little, I think that's like a distressing tool, and I just distressed up one of the edges that didn't cut very well. But again, you don't need it if you use the Deckled edge trimmer. You don't need it if you have like a die that would have worked, or you have scissors that cut distress, whatever works, whatever you have in your stash. I mean, I have the Deckled edge trimmer, so I do like to use it on things. I just struggled a little bit with this specific craft. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing to all four of them, And then I did lay out the hearts how I wanted them on the back panels. So I'm going to add 3D foam squares. These are the thin 3D foam squares. And I'm going to adhere them onto my watercolored panel first. And then I'm going to adhere it to my craft. Because some of them I wanted them to be a bit wonky. And I found it easier if I adhered my hearts so that they fit within the craft background than to kind of adhere the background down first and then fit my hearts. This just in my head made more sense. By no means would you need to do it this way. This is just how I decided to do it. And I did choose to not use the craft big hearts just because there's already so much craft in the background. So I kind of chose to use the pink big heart and the glitter big hearts, and then more of the smaller craft sized hearts, but only because the background is craft. So I didn't feel like it needed that big craft heart. I did try them on there and I just didn't end up liking it. So I changed my mind. And then I brought in my Barely Art glue, and that's what I'm going to use to adhere the watercolor cardstock down to that craft cardstock. And then you can see I'm just kind of lining up where the hearts are sitting off of the panel. And then because it's me and I love all the shiny things, I also brought in some really pretty pink jewels. I don't think that it was necessary, but I never get to use them because they generally don't match what I'm creating. A lot of the time I'll use like white gems or black gems, or, I don't very often bring in colored gems, and I have them. So I really wanted to use them on some kind of project. So I did choose to bring them in here. And I'm just adhering them down with my Studio Katia wand and some more Barely Art glue. And they are the Pink Fresh Essential Gems. And then I'm going to hold them up so you guys can kind of check them out. And here you'll actually be able to see the texture in the background. Like, you can't really see it when I was kind of making it there, but here you get to see all that shimmer and shine and all the glitter in the background, and I think they turned out really pretty. I love how they turned out. I really enjoy making artist trading cards, so I always have a lot of fun when I do make them, but yeah, so I think that was pretty fun. So that is the craft I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you like checking out these artist trading cards that I really enjoy making. I hope you'll consider subscribing. I do new videos every Monday and Thursday. Thank you so much for stopping by, guys, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.